What is going on, guys? DBG here, and in this video we are going to be reacting to Ty's NBA 2K20 MyTEAM awards. So I'm going to put myself on this side of the screen right here. So anyway, huge shout out to Ty for making this video, and also a link to his video will be in the description in his channel. So go sub to him, especially for 2K21, because let's be real, he's still going to be one of the, at worst, top 10 players in the world at this game. So definitely a channel you guys will want to subscribe to for NBA 2K21. I'd say for 2K21, especially at the start of it, I will make a video a little bit more late in a while. But guys like him, RCA the Great, they're the type of people that you probably will be wanting to look towards for gameplay tips for that game. So we're going to see these awards. So we're going to just start off with these awards right here. I'm just going to skip through the intro. So first award here is the cheesiest player. I'm thinking it's hard to not go Yao Ming. I agree with Mirasan. Day one Mirasan was the best card in the game. Yao Ming's the best card we've ever seen in my team. I'd have a fourth option here with Pink Diamond T-Mac. Behind the back patch, he was unbelievable.
Firmly believe that this is a 3-horse race between Pink Diamond.
I think I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna say it's a 4-horse race, and it's way too loud on my end. Apologies.
Diamond Dwayne Wade. And the reason for Pink Diamond Dwayne Wade is a lot of the Pro-Am guys, like a Splash Edition,
he changed
Definitive. If you guys know those names, if you don't know those names, you guys will
every
know
Pro-Am guy knew
super,
how to use this guy. He was ridiculous
at using these types of cards. These are you started with Dwayne Wade. If I was on a 12-0 run and I ran up against Dwayne Wade with a guy who knew how to use him, I was nervous.
One thing was that very few people realized how to use this Dwayne Wade for the longest time, because mainly when he was at his cheesiest was like early March. Was probably from like early February when he came out to early March. And during that spell, I don't even think Splash was streaming that much because he was getting ready for the league. Ty was focusing on the global championship, and then he'd only just gotten into content creation. So it wasn't, Base 98 wasn't nearly as widely known as it was coming into kind of the middle to the end of March. Most of the larger creators didn't really know about this card. I think he would have been even cheesier had people found out about him earlier. And it wasn't like people didn't find out about him. The likes of, as he said, Definitive, Splash, any of those Pro-Am guys, they all were insane with that card. It was just that the wider MyTEAM community didn't really know about it. So that's luckily enough for us. Otherwise, everyone was using this card and he was 300k MT. Let's be real.
He probably made me the most nervous. Second card up for nomination is Sapphire George Mirasan.
Day one Mirasan.
25 speed.
Day one
was
Mirasan.
the fastest card in the game at 7'6".
They nerfed him. They had to lower his stamina from like 95 to 65. They completely nerfed Mirasan. Like, oh, he was so good. Day one Mirasan. Literally, I just throw the ball. I'd 5 out and surround him with shooters. And I used to run Derrick Rose, just blow by people. No, I started running Mirasan as my point guard, just sprinting down the court with him and just putting 4 shooters around them. I think I had like Luke Kennard, who had range extender, and Bielitsa, who had range extender. Bucks 5 out, bang, bang, bang. I didn't lose a game. I've lost like 5-6 games maybe in all of September and half of October. Like, it was mad.
I mean, I don't even know what else I can say. Day one Mirasan, guys, was just absolutely different. Last being Yao, guys. We all know what Yao can do. 7'6", all 99 GOAT card.
Yeah,
any of these guys could have won the award, but ultimately, I decided to go
I'm not complaining.
Sapphire George Mirasan as the winner of the most cheesiest card of the game. If you're 7'6",
the only reason I wouldn't give it to Mirasan was that he couldn't guard Channing Frye. And like when you were using Mirasan, you had to paint sit with him on defense. And then it was only in the second week of the game when Channing Frye came out, and Channing Frye just didn't miss. He had like a 99 3-ball. So because there was such a big count on Channing Frye, I would have given it to Yao. But I'm not going to argue. Week 1 Mirasan was just a game-breaking. He's the best player in the game by a mile.
Card in the game, and can shoot post hooks over everybody, which he could do in the first month of the game.
So good.
He was by far the cheesiest player for his time and era in NBA 2K20. So,
okay, so I'm going to I'm going to put the speed to 1.5 so that this video doesn't take too long, because I'm going to give my opinions on all these awards as well. And at the same time, Ty on 1.5 speed is probably still speaking slower than I am. So Yeah.
Hopping into the next award is the Longevity Award. This is the player, you know, I didn't want to do a lot of Evos with this because, you know, a David Robinson, for example, obviously, with his Evo, could still play now. But this is without an Evo. So you got, you know.
I agree with these two. Because these two are so usable today. I would put in Tracy McGrady, leap year, above Dwayne Wade. But it's a two-horse race. It's one of these two guys. Personally, I go to Giannis, but I would not complain if anyone wanted to give it to Kawhi. Let's be real.
You know, the Pink Diamond Moments Kawhi, which came out
like
on February 16th of the All-Star break. Giannis, who was kind of that first type of player that really changed the game, that dropped not too long after Kawhi Leonard, I don't believe. And then we got the, you know, the Pink Diamond Dwayne Wade once again.
Third, fourth,
I wouldn't say Dwayne Wade can still be used now, but he was still a card that could have been used for a very long time. So, in my opinion, this was more of a two-head race in Kawhi and Giannis, and I ultimately decided to go with Pink Diamond Kawhi because on my tournament team, I guess I don't run him anymore because I'm over Kawhi, but this card still can be ran in comp type settings, can do it all on both ends of the court. And honestly, for his era, was one of the best cards. The next award here is an interesting one because we're talking for the time that they got released, we got three. That is
Rocco, Wilt, and Kawhi. I'd put the other Kawhi in because it came out a little bit earlier. Or, oh, actually, wait, no. Opal Jordan came out before this Kawhi. Kawhi was better than Opal Jordan, but not better defensively. Opal Jordan deserves a spot here. Like, Opal Jordan probably deserves to win this. That card was so good. He was the reason why he figured out about tendencies. But if he wants to give it to Rocco or Wilt, I'm not going to complain. If he wants to give it to Rocco, I'm not going to complain.
Galaxy Opal go.
It has to be right.
Can we really have a defensive player of the year without Wilt Chamberlain, guys? 8-foot wingspan, 7'1", can run. Now, I will say this. He's not as good as he was last year, but this Galaxy Opal Wilt is definitely overlooked for what he can give you on the defensive end. Second guy is Diamond.
He's a lot better than last year. It's just last year he came out in, like, October. So, a little bit different.
Robert Covington. You guys got to remember, for the time Diamond Robert Covington came out, he was elite, man. 6'9", incredible wingspan, decent enough steal tendency, and just his player model made him get way more bumpy than 2K ever should have allowed him. I ran with this Diamond Robert Covington for a very long time and was one of my favorite players in the game. And then we got Pink Diamond Kawhi Leonard once again, released on February 16th, way ahead of his time, with those 34 Hall of Fame badges. Basically, every Hall of Fame badge in the game was just
the card that came. He came out on the Monday. I think the Jordan came out on the Friday before that. I still think
absolutely Jordan, guys. But I couldn't go anywhere else but Diamond Robert Covington.
No, I couldn't complain.
He was my favorite card in the game.
I think Jordan was snubbed.
And for a free card, was the best defensive player in the game at the time he came out. Hopping into the next award here, we do got the best pre-250K card, and this could have went a lot of different ways because you guys also got to remember.
D-Rob? Okay. I'm trying to think. Was there any good centers Was D-Rob the best pre-250K center? Probably. Chris Bosh existed pre-250K. I just hate this D-Rob card, so. T-Mac, I assume T-Mac's winning. Giannis, no question about it. I'd probably put Lamar Odom in there, but.
Remember, we did have like the Galaxy of Brandon Roy, we did have a card like even a Pink Diamond Bill Russell. Well, he wasn't D-Rob's level, but he was pretty good. Diamond Lamar Odom was another card that I'm very, very high on.
Odom,
if we're talking about the best pre-250K card, it's between three guys: Pink Diamond Giannis, Pink Diamond T-Mac, and Galaxy Opal D-Rob. Now, I will say, before the behind the back was patched, it was a one-horse race. It was definitely T-Mac. But once it got patched, D-Rob and Giannis went up a little bit because they couldn't even do the behind the back to start with. But at the end of the day, if you ask most people who their favorite card was, it was still T-Mac going into that tournament. And by far, for the time T-Mac was released,
I'd have Brandon Roy as like an honorable mention just because of that half quick draw, but no, this T-Mac, especially for the time before everyone had half quick draw and it felt really slow going back to go quick draw, T-Mac was better. T-Mac did everything better except for the half quick draw.
He changed the game forever, man. We went from just decent cards to T-Mac, who is honestly, you could still use T-Mac today. Is he that good? Not really anymore, but he did have the Hall of Fame claims, Hall of Fame range.
I've been cooked by T-Mac recently.
Diamond T-Mac is the best pre-250K card. Hopping into the next award here, we do have the most overrated cards in the game.
Glenn, I get it. Glenn is kind of overrated, but come on. There's more overrated cards than Glenn. There's more overrated. Glitch, Shaq, and Kobe. Well and truly, both of those belong here. Well, they belong here. I'm trying to think who'd be in the most overrated instead of Glenn. Goat Steph, maybe? Pretty sure Isaac put Goat Steph above like Opal, LeBron James, and Pink Diamond Giannis in his point guard list. So if people have him that high, Goat Steph would be one of my most overrated. But these two, no question about it. Not going to argue either of them.
For the time that they came out. Now, Glenn Rice, I will say this. When Glenn Rice came out at the start of April, I do believe, I was high on the card. I like the card. But it's like the more you use Glenn Rice, the more you don't like the card, I feel like. And a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, Glenn Rice can be the best card in the game. And he really was never that for me. I was more nervous when I ran up against Pink Diamond Dwayne Wade than Glenn Rice at the end of the day. And so in that aspect, for me, I think he is overrated. The next card we do is Shaq. For when he came out, he was supposed to be by far the best center in the game. If you ask any of the comp guys whether they preferred the old Kareem or Shaq, most of them will say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And that's bad because Kareem only had,
Man, like when Eddie Curry came out, I said it. I was like, Eddie's better than Shaq. And people call me crazy. And now, like, looking back and you're like, yeah, Eddie might be better than Shaq.
He didn't have range extender. He didn't have a 90+ 3-ball, but Kareem just felt better on the court than this Shaq. Shaq was supposed to be a lot better than he was, but I don't know. For me, he never really.
I like Go Shaq. I don't know why I hated
just because he had such a broken release. The next card here is the most hyped up card, maybe in 2K history. That is Galaxy Opal GOAT Kobe Bryant. Now, if you ask anybody in the community which card they were most excited about, it's probably this Kobe Bryant card. He had all 99 everything.
If there's any card to have given like LaMelo Ball SIGs to, it would have been this Kobe Bryant. Because he already had the Kobe escape, which is the best flick up like thing in the game. It's the best escape dribble in the game. So, like, he already had that animation. If they'd just given him, like, Pro 2 and a Pro 3 behind him, like, I think if he'd come out, like, 3 weeks later, they would have just given him those SIGs, but his dribbling's bad. His release is meh, and his defense is awful. It's awful, man. Man, this card should have been good, but it just wasn't.
By the time he came out, and he was supposed to be absolutely elite. Now, we did have, the open T-Mac. The first T-Mac is still out, and ask anybody. T-Mac was better than Kobe Bryant, is better than Kobe Bryant still to this day. It's not close, but people spent so much time on Kobe Bryant. And he was just such a huge letdown. Guys, that is why Kobe Bryant is the winner of the most overrated card in NBA 2K20
it has to be. No
the next card we're going to have is the most underrated card in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. Now,
everyone knows Cam Reddish is good, though. Everyone knows Reddish is good. If I was going underrated, I think I'd take Odom because I think everyone knew he was good as well. Rocco, keep him in there. I'd put Dale Ellis in my most underrated because, again, his SIGs are offensively, he's god tier. He's literally Kawhi Leonard with worse SIGs. That is what Dale Ellis is. So not worse SIGs, but worse tendencies. His SIGs are ridiculous. And then, I'm trying to think who else I'd put. I like one of Odom or Reddish because everyone knows how good Reddish is. Everyone was so hyped. Sure, the Hawks players were 10 KMT. I definitely wouldn't say that Reddish is in that underrated category, but I put Dale Ellis in instead.
This was a tough one because there's a lot of underrated
Reddish
cards.
is the best that he's
if we get down to who is the most underrated card, who out of these cards do I like the most compared to the rest of the 2K community? Robert Covington, I'll say this. When I started really using Robert Covington, a lot of the community started noticing how good Rocco really was and started using him as well. Diamond Lamar, pre-250, was an absolute dog. So many people overlooked this card. He only had 7 Hall of Famers.
Odom was good till like
May. People just didn't seem to realize that. And for the time
I went 12-0 with him in May.
No question.
He was still class.
Lamar Odom was the most underrated card for that era, particularly.
He was
Diamond Cam Reddish. A card still to this day that I could go out in a game and feel comfortable using. Now, I know that might be a little bit of a stretch, but he has all the defensive, stats and badges you need. Has that Hall of Fame range. And Paul George release on both
Reddish is fine. He's still usable.
When it came down to it, I think Cam Reddish is the most underrated.
Cam Reddish is unbelievable. I think everyone knows he's good, or maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just me that knows Reddish is good, but
card in NBA 2K20.
I would have gone even over.
Hopping into the next award here, we do have the best 12 and over award in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. Now, I would say this is more of a 2-headed race than a 3-headed race. Although Amari Stoudemire still wasn't bad, I'm
trying to think. Bird was awful. Clyde was awful. Amari was the starting center for most people. Jerry Lucas. I know Big O. No one used Big O. Would I go Beasley? Nah. I was about to think, would I go Beasley over him? But I was like, very, very few people ran Beasley. They all had better players. So, yeah, I agree with these three. I assume he's not counting Dr. J and Rudy. Rudy would win this, by the way.
Amari wasn't bad for the time that he was in. But really, between Glenn Rice and Baron Davis, it's tough because I thought Glenn Rice, at least for probably half the community, was the best shooting guard for when he came out. I would still prefer the T-Max of the world, but a lot of people love Glenn Rice, and I can see why. Baron Davis was probably the best point guard, him or John Stockton when he came out. But looking back on it, Baron Davis was better than most people realize. He really was. Could dunk.
Baron Davis was I'm pretty sure was on a lot of 250K rosters 3 months after he came out. Baron Davis. For me,
he was a dog, and that is why Baron Davis is the best 12-0 reward in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM for his.
We've agreed with most of these. Let's be real. We've agreed with most of these.
The next award here is the best token reward, and this is just gonna be the best overall token reward because it's hard to do for their specific era because it's just so different. Now, this is kind of another 2-headed race. I do like JJJ a lot, but I think
there's no point even talking. It's Bobo.
Galaxy Opal Bobo.
Mobile not even close. I like the Rose.
Is the best token reward in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. Next award here we do have is the Rookie of the Year, and this one was tough. This was a tough one because we're gonna include the Wisemans and LaMelo Ball in the rookie conversation.
Wiseman?
What else are they? They're basically
there's
rookies
no wrong answer.
Never had them
before.
Never seen them before, so it was a tough one. Honestly, if
you ask a pro
player,
guy,
I don't know who gets
this
award. Wiseman for me. If
you're a pro-am guy, you're gonna say LaMelo. If you don't like Chris Bosh release, or you just use your center to corner sit, you're gonna probably say Reddish. Or if you run a lot of stuff through Wiseman, you're probably going to say Wiseman. So there's no wrong answer here. I'd say Wiseman, but there's no wrong answer.
Play him at the 4 is obviously, going to be a top 4 in the game. Melo is some people's favorite point guard still to this day. And you guys know I love Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is absolutely incredible. Still a top 5 shooting guard probably in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. So this is tough. You got a top 5 center power forward, a top 5 point guard, and a top 5 shooting guard. Where do you go? It's all preference. But for me, by far, James Wiseman is the rookie of the year for me in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. This is going to be an award that I'm going to talk about. Most improved, okay? And here's the thing. You can look at it in a variety of ways. The way I...
What do you mean by DeRozan? DeRozan's pink diamond was beast in 2K19. He was a beast. Wade was so bad in 19. Duncan. You gotta go Duncan because every Duncan card sucked until that last one. They all sucked. But there's a lot of other cards that Is there cards I would put in instead of like DeRozan? That were just... Maybe Yao Ming? Like, from Yao's first opal to Yao's second opal? That might be the biggest jump of any card we've ever seen. I don't know. Luka... So, actually, no. A lot of people liked Luka last year. Trying to think what cards sucked last year. I wholeheartedly agree with Duncan. I wholeheartedly agree with Dwayne Wade because he was awful last year. DeRozan was a god in 2K19.
I would mostly look at it is how did they improve from 2K19 to 2K20, or within 2K19, how did they, within 2K20, how did they improve throughout the game? Like a Tim Duncan is different, because the first Tim Duncan, and even the other Opal Tim Duncan, you knew what it was, man. That other Opal Tim Duncan was absolutely terrible. I never thought this GOAT Tim Duncan would be anything, but this GOAT Tim Duncan is incredible. So, you can look at it improved in that way, or Dwayne Wade. With the Dwayne Wade type card, how many people used him last year? I mean, truly, how many people released the game? I'm just asking for the community, okay? But when I'm going to say this as well, when the Evotes up to Amethyst, Dwayne Wade came out, I knew he was going to be incredible. His dribble sticks were great, a great rim running point guard. I knew with his behind the back that he could be great, that he would be great throughout 2K. I absolutely knew it from the Amethyst Dwayne Wade card. And DeMar DeRozan, think about it. How many people thought of DeMar DeRozan last year?
DeRozan was insane.
Truly, how many people thought of DeMar DeRozan?
He was insane last year. I'm sorry, that throwback Elite Pink Diamond was insane.
Trey Burke release obviously
he was incredible,
but even the Pink Diamond DeMar was nice, and you could kind of tell with that T-Mac release that if we got another one he would be incredible. But to me, this award was never a question. Galaxy Opal Tim Duncan is the most improved player in NBA 2K20 just for the sole fact that
these awards have mainly been kind of
thought this card would be anything.
They've been kind of
surprising player, most improved player.
I've no problem with any of these.
Galaxy Opal Tim Duncan GOAT is incredible in NBA 2K20.
I've no problem with any of these.
Now we're gonna look at another award is the budget MVP.
I can't not give this award to Nick Batum. But also, it's Dwayne Wade.
The top budget cards in the game, I think,
it's Dwayne Wade and not even close.
Marvin Bagley, who for his era was, a top 10 center at a time in which you could get him for super cheap.
Well, unless you want to consider the tokens for Mirasan's budget, or 3 tokens for Sean Bradley. 3 tokens for Sean Bradley, I might say, week 1 might be budget MVP. But... Dwayne
DBG's
Wade,
guys, you guys know what he can do. Absolutely incredible 3-and-D type player. I never used him to his full extent, but now that he's got glitch tendencies on his Opal, he's absolutely incredible.
He has a pro 3 behind as well.
He has a good release, good defender, could get it done at a very high level. The last card is Diamond Dwayne Wade. Now this card went for 3K MT and was basically the pink Diamond Dwayne Wade. Now, I still think the pink Diamond Dwayne Wade was better, but it's really not that.
He carried me to 12-0 so many times.
You got 3 guys here who for a time, maybe in March, April probably, because I don't even know when D-Wade came out, but could get it done at a high level. All were super budget players. But to me, Diamond Dwayne Wade was the most usable in a competitive type setting, and trust me, I there's people who know how to use him. And he could definitely get it done at a very, very high level. Diamond Dwayne Wade is my best budget player in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. Hopping into the next award, we do get the best Evo boost. Now,
it has to be Kobe because he has one of the worst pink times in the game to a very solid opal, but if I was to go with any of these cards, it would be Bill Walton and not even close. Although this Kobe, I do really like.
As far as the Penny Hardaway, but when you look at when Penny first came out, look at his first when he first came out to where he is now. Is absolutely when he first came out, he had 70-some lateral quickness. I mean, there were a lot of things wrong with Penny. No plan. There was a lot of things wrong with Penny. But then you look at the Bill Waltons of the world. Went from having, a 73 ball to a good 3 ball. Has that half range, I do believe. I don't know enough about Bill Walton. I didn't use him enough. But I would say this. A lot of people like Bill Walton, and if you can tolerate his tween, he's a very good player. I just personally don't like his tween much.
Easy honest 2.0.
The last player that can't be overlooked is his pink diamond Kobe Bryant, who evoed to a Galaxy Opal. Now, you guys got to realize, this pink diamond Kobe started out terrible. When he dropped, everybody's like, what is going on? His evo isn't terrible. It's not that much worse than the one you have to grind, whatever it is, 80, 160. I don't know. I think it's 160
way better
hours for. So,
and a better defender.
All 3 of these evos are super good, but when it comes down to it, Kobe Bryant's evo is the best in NBA 2K20. I don't even think it's close. This career highlights to where he started to ends is an absolutely ridiculous evo in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. The next award is the Mr. Inconsistent reward, and the best way I can.
This guy right here, Get him off the screen.
Describe this. His cards, you know, that I can.
David Robinson.
One day I'll say, you know, KD is the best shooting guard in the game. Next day I'll talk to Isaac and be like, yo, KD is awful. So these are the cards. Same thing with David Robinson. One day I'll be like, yo, David Robinson like still is the best center in the game, and then the next day he can't green a shot for me. You know, and so these are like the most inconsistent cards. When it comes to KD, it comes to straight arms, man. He is the straight arm king. When I play versus KD, if I leave him open, I think there's a decent amount of chance, even if they, you know, time the release.
Yeah, that KD,
time.
He doesn't
have a steady shooter. With David Robinson, it's the steady shooter, man. Sometimes he'll green or he'll hit a heavy. And I'll take heavy with him because that's what he's there for. He got Hall of Fame steady shooter. But other times he's gonna miss, you know, 3-4 wide open.
The worst thing about steady is that it's really good in certain game modes because you're gonna be contested a lot. But in my team, if you're good at the game, you are getting open most of the time. So the contest doesn't really matter too much. The ability to shoot contested, like, but those open misses are killer.
In game, and it's just so frustrating. But other times he'll be straight green. You won't even notice a difference on that steady shooter badge. Last player here is Bobo. Now, more than anything, it was the other OPAL Bobo that I'm kind of referring to. I mean, the Evo one that had 32 Hall of Famers, I think. He some days would be so good for me. I'd feel like he's the best power forward in the game. And then other games, I just couldn't agree with him. So inconsistent. It was just... All three of these players are so inconsistent for me. Kevin Durant, you know, obviously with the straight arms. David Robinson with his, you know, steady shooter badge. And then you got Bobo, who is just Bobo, man. Bobo's going to be inconsistent all the time. But when it comes down to it, Kevin Durant, straight arms, for me, makes him the most inconsistent player. Mr. Inconsistent award goes to Kevin Durant. The next award here is the most slept on award. And what I mean by slept on...
Dale Ellis, Jalen Rose next. Jalen Rose over Karl Malone. I love that Karl Malone card, but he wasn't slept on. No one just wanted to log in for him. Jalen Rose.
Is players that I didn't even use really. Like I saw him come out of the, you know, I played with them once, yeah, they're okay. But then when it comes down to it, I played with them 2 or 3 times. I'm like, okay, what was I missing about you?
Kevin Garnett.
Obviously, Kevin Garnett, I could have been in this. But when we're getting down to where we're at now, these 3 guys are the epitome of the most slept on. You got Jonathan Isaac.
I mean, I said from the start, Isaac was really good. Like, I didn't sleep on that Isaac card. I just preferred Kevin Durant. And I also preferred Hito and Jalen Rose, who came out right after that.
Don't get me started about how good Jonathan Isaac is. I think he got the Pro 5 behind the back. An absolutely incredible release. He can do it all. Kevin Garnett, 6'11", for his time, was probably the best defender in the game and is still a top power forward defensive player in the game. A decent enough release, kind of slow, but still absolutely incredible. Karl Malone, 6'9", got the best dribble 6 in the game, and I get he's an expensive reward, but people sleep on how good Karl Malone still is to this day. So these 3 players are all very slept on. When it comes to the most slept on, I think it is Galaxy Opal Kevin Garnett. You know, 44 Hall of Famers, 22 gold badges for the time he came out, and people regret
argue with any of these.
But guys, Kevin Garnett's absolutely incredible. He truly is still to this day. For the time he came out in, he might have been the best lock for the time he came out in. Hopping into the MVP of NBA.
Ben Simmons. There's a glaring gap or there's a strange LeBron James card in here where Ben Simmons belongs, but not gonna argue these 2. These are number 1 and 2 with Yao at number 1.
Now, this is just the overall best player, not the best player for the time that they came out. And here's what I'm going to say. When he came out, I think it was what, May, maybe? I don't know when exactly.
It was
too early. That's what I'm going to say. I never thought we'd see anything like Giannis behind the back, incredible release for a center, 7'2", incredible defender.
Like the 11th of June? Am I wrong with that? It was the 1st of June was a Monday, if I'm not mistaken, and it was the 2nd Friday in June. I may be wrong with that one, but it was like the final Spotlight Sims came out on the Tuesday, and then Tuesday was the what came out on the Tuesday? Kawhi came out on the Tuesday. That was it. Kawhi came out on the Tuesday. Wednesday was the final Spotlight Sims, and the Tuesday, the Kawhi day, they also leaked these packs, and Friday was these packs. So that was like a really big week for content.
He was absolutely incredible. But then we got, you know. Let's talk about LeBron. The point guard LeBron, who had 45 Hall of Fame badges at 6'8" with a bad layup package, was my favorite point guard in the game.
I think Simmons is better.
Now we get a point guard LeBron, 6'9", long athlete layup
preference,
package,
though. It is
67 maybe Hall of Fame badges, all 99, everything. Like, guys, come on. We went from the point guard LeBron, who I thought was going to be probably the best point guard forever, to now we got the GOAT LeBron, another just huge upgrade. But then we get a 7'6", all 97 or above Yao.
Yeah, it was just God.
And everybody's like, oh, here's your... Next, we're going to hop into each team at their specific level. So the first team here is the all-Ruby team.
Ooh. Do I disagree with any of these? I don't. I'm going to say this right now. I don't disagree with any of these.
Best Ruby players that I could think of.
This is the all Ruby team.
Kind of
DiVincenzo the best.
But Dante DiVincenzo came out with like the Magic Johnson type set. Same thing with JC. But Dante DiVincenzo, when you're thinking about a Ruby to use, he's probably the best Ruby in the game. He probably is.
He's not. It's not
Dion Waiters was on TTO boards. Pre-250 actually.
DiVincenzo
can up, but that Dion Waiters, even the Ruby one, was super good. Now, that Jared Culver, if he had range extender, would have been super good. The no range extender did hurt JC quite a bit, but was still incredible. And Jeff Green, I mean, he doesn't compare to the Pink Diamond, but still has that same type of release and is very, very good.
Nice.
Don Maker, if you could put any sort of defense, would be a lot higher. Don Maker still does make the all-Ruby team. Next, we got the all-Ami team, and this is made up of guys that are still pretty good to this day. Let's start off with Isak Farga.
Queen.
He got Pro 8. That's all you need to say about him. He's got Pro 8. Not a very good release, but not terrible release. Decent enough defender, what, 6'8", maybe 6'7".
Is there better than these? I like all of these cards. I'm trying to think, is there better Amethyst cards than these? I'm not the biggest Bagley fan, not gonna lie. I would definitely put Bamba starting center. I'm trying to think. Maybe it's my own bias. I'd have Dean Wade in there, but I'm not going to argue too much. I don't much a problem with him.
If his player model was a little bit wider, if he weighed a little bit more, he would have been a lot better. Next, moving on to Lance Stevenson, absolutely incredible player. I used him a lot in my budget series.
So
very, very good release, very good.
Lance came out at the start of February.
Very good card, Lance Stevenson. Next card I didn't use that much, but Amethyst Nick Young was still very, very good.
Like the last,
a more updated player than a lot of these cards, just because of what he came out was very, very, very good card. Next, we got the Twin Towers inside. Mo Bamba, Marvin Bagley, obviously were the best two Amethyst.
You could run the two of them together and they did very well.
You couldn't leave one of them off the list. These two, both, it's your preference which one you like better. I prefer Bagley, but a lot of people prefer Bamba. These two were absolutely incredible.
I think Bowl belongs
Having into the all diamond team, this one was a lot easier for me to come up with, I think, because you got Dwayne Wade, who was for the time the best.
I mean, as much as I like Nick Batum, I don't think he belongs in the all diamond team. Wade, Reddish, no brainers. Rocco, no brainer. I'm trying to think. There's definitely better diamonds than Nick Batum. I honestly would consider putting in Paul Westphal at the start at the point, moving Reddish up one, Dwayne Wade up one, or even like a Jamario Moon instead of Batum. But as much as I love Batum, I don't think he quite belongs in it. And in all diamond center has to be Noel because there's no good diamond centers in this game.
I agree with Wade, Reddish, who was my most overlooked, one of the most overlooked cards in the game throughout, 2K. Throughout the whole 2K, honestly, the most long-lasting card.
You could honestly go 12-0 with this squad.
Diamond Nicholas Batum, small forward position, obviously included because he's a great 3D player. Then we got Diamond Cove. Diamond Cove. We all know what he can do. And just look at this team on defense as a whole outside of Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade can create all the offense. And defensively, Cam Reddish, good perimeter defender, Batum, Cove. Then inside, we got Diamond Nerlens Noel, who's also a very, very good defender. All around, this Diamond team is very, very good. And honestly, you could go out into it.
Nerlens Noel, the budget Kareem stopper.
Now.
The budget Kareem stopper.
Happening next to the all pink diamond team, we started off with point guard Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Not gonna
what
argue.
Else can I say? I mean,
not gonna argue.
What else can I say about Giannis? You guys know what he still can do this day. Now we got the new pink diamond Robert Covington, still gonna be 6'9", updated steal tendencies,
maybe
updated Hall of Fame range, Hall of Fame quick draw. Cove is absolutely incredible. Don't get me wrong. It's just hard to use him because he's just still a little limited on offense. Next we got pink diamond Kawhi Leonard at the small forward position, guys. Trust me when I say this card was so slept on when he first came out. Next we got Thaddeus Young, the base 98 type release.
Unless you wanted to put in LaMelo for one of these and move Giannis to power forward. If you wanted, no. Thad Young and Kawhi both better than LaMelo.
Best release in the game goes to Thaddeus Young.
It's a close one.
Just an absolutely incredible player. On the offensive end,
LaMelo is 6'9"
as well.
This one LaMelo is
Pink Diamond Eddie Curry. You could put Wiseman, Dino in there as well, but I do think Eddie Curry is the best Pink Diamond center in NBA 2K20 MyTEAM. Now when we get into the OPAL team, this is basically the best starting lineup you can run right here. And look,
I'm gonna argue instead of LeBron Simmons or Giannis at the 1. No, I put Simmons the 1 or Giannis the 1. Bol the 3. I'm not a LeBron fan.
Look, this is, in my opinion, the best starting lineup you can run.
Point
guard, you got GOAT LeBron.
I don't think anyone that's used Kawhi is going to argue Kawhi. I don't think anyone is going to argue these guys 4 and 5 though, and I don't think anyone's really going to argue that Giannis belongs somewhere on the team.
It's tough because GOAT Ben is obviously good. Shooting guard was a tough one too. I couldn't go against Kawhi Leonard, but if you wanted to put Kevin Durant GOAT right here, I'm not going to argue with you. I just love Kawhi.
That is it. So anyway, that is the video. Huge shout out to Ty for making this video. A link to his channel will be in the description. And honestly, we basically agreed with all of these. There's a couple of I don't even think there's any I majorly disagree with him. I think Glenn Rice being on the all overrated list, I wasn't a fan of, but I did agree with his final pick. I think Lamar Odom probably, or in the most underrated card, I think you got to go with like a Dale Ellis or something because you're looking at him as an extreme underrated player. Because I think with Cam Reddish, who he has, everyone kind of knows about Cam Reddish. I would have gone with Dale Ellis, but I'm not going to argue any of the others, really. I think a lot of this is preference, and we're kind of on the same boat with most of this. To be fair, though, you guys know that I base a lot of my way of playing 2K, not necessarily on the way Ty plays, but I do tend to watch a lot of My Team Madness games. I do tend to watch, for a while, I was watching the likes of Ty, the likes of Isaac, Definitive Splash. I do watch I did watch a lot of the best players in the world in order to pick up some stuff to try to get better at this game. So that's the kind of we do have kind of a similar mindset. Obviously, I think if me and Ty played each other 100 times, he'd probably win 97 of them. But yeah, that is pretty much it. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.